Hey everyone, it's me, Sir Maximus. I'm back. Here's my second video. I'm doing my GBLs, but this time I'm using a different team. Hope you guys enjoy. Hey everyone. Alright, so here's my team. We got Shadow Machamp, Shadow Kanto Muck, and Shadow Gardevoir. I decided to go with an all-shadow team. Wanted to see how good these shadows are. I got a couple, was able to TM during the Go Fest second day. I ran out of charge TMs, unfortunately. I want Poison Jab, Dark Pulse, Thunder Punch. I ended up with Acid Spray, so I made it work. I have Counter, Cross Chop, Rock Slide for the lead in the Machamp, and I have Charm, Shadow Ball, and Psychic for the Gardevoir. Most of the time, I feel like I want to use Shadow Ball. May Elite TM Psychic over to Synchronize because I'm able to get it a little bit faster. Changes a couple of matchups. We'll see. We don't know what the future holds, but until then, this is the team that I have. Hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. So here we go. Machamp against Skarmory. This is a bad lead for us normally, but counters stack up against this. Skarmory is taking neutral damage, so I want to just throw these cross chops over here. I want to try to just weaken this Skarmory as much as possible. My team does have a problem with Skarmory, especially because I don't have that Thunder Punch on Muck. If I did, I would be able to soften it up a little bit. We get a little bit of the desync here, but it's, what can we do about it? Can't get to the cross chop as a result, but I come in here with the Muck. Now, like I said, we're supposed to be using Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is going to be super effective. It's able to knock out Skarmory. But I end up going with Acid Spray so I can weaken this Skarmory. They do a switch. I realize that, these counters are going to be resisted by my Gardevoir because Gardevoir is typing both both Fairy and Psychic. So it's going to be doing resisted damage. Even though it's a Shadow, the fact that these counters aren't going to stack up, I can just charm this thing down, and then if they decide to bring in the Skarmory again, I can maybe finish it off. So I shield here. I want to use as much damage as I can, or as much charm as I can, onto this Vigoroth. So here it comes in a grass type. Unfortunately, it's a Razor Leafer, so this is going to hurt really, really bad. On the plus side, I do have a Muck. It's going to be able to resist these. I can do super effective damage with the Poison typing against a pure Grass type. I can do an Acid Spray to make it even more damage from the Poison Jabs here, because not only is it a stab Poison Jab and it's super effective, but now we have a Meganium that's super weak. So we're able to farm this down, and then they don't have any shields, so I'm able to throw the Dark Pulse instead of what would have been a Thunder Punch. So we're able to get our first win, put it on the scoreboard. GG's my opponent. So let's go and get ready for game number 2. So game number 2, again, Machamp going against Azumarill. This is a bad lead for us, but because it's a Shadow, we're able to just throw as much damage out there. Normally opponents don't shield because they know it's going to be a cross chop. They're thinking, hey, I can tank this. So if you do a Rock Slide, you're able to do so much damage to an Azumarill that it makes them uncomfortable with the amount of damage that is done to them. So any other charge move that you throw at them, they're going to shield. Look at that, half. So I decided to go with the Muck so that way I can use super effective poison against the Fairy typing. Because Azumarill is a Fairy and a Water type. Because it's Ice Beam or Play Rough, I'm able to resist. This is now bad for us because we did a switch. We gave up switch advantage. They can bring in something to either hard counter us or to give us a really hard time. One of the really hard times is a literal hard time, Bastiodon. I'm able to weaken it with an Acid Spray. So now this is where Thunder Punch versus Acid Spray kind of comes in clutch. So I'm able to throw an Acid Spray. I'm able to weaken it. They end up using all their energy instead of trying to farm me down because they don't want to take maybe a Dark Pulse or a Thunder Punch or another Acid Spray. But since this is twice super effective damage from a counter, right? So it's super effective against the Rock typing, it's super effective against the Steel typing, and it's weakened, we're able to just farm this thing all the way down, just build up tons of energy. So because we have all this energy, I'm able to throw 2 cross chops here. So they can maybe give up a shield, or they can just let this thing go, and the thing in the back might be able to take me out. So recognizing that I was able to steal a shield, and I want to farm up some energy with this Gardevoir, because I don't know what's in the back. Alright, we only saw 2 Pokemon so far. So maybe this Machamp's going to come in clutch with the cross chop. So I'm able to build up some energy with the charm move, and here comes another steel type. So instead of throwing all the energy away from a cross chop onto an Ozma, which wouldn't be super effective, I'm just going to throw whatever I can here, let this Gardevoir go, use a shield on the Machamp, And as you can see, I took it to almost half, right? I took like a third damage out. They throw all their energy away, and here comes a cross chop. This should be able to KO from this range. If it doesn't, guess what? We have plenty of time until they get another flash cannon. So we just counter it down if there's anything left. Look at that. There's a little bit of damage and one counter, two counters. We had a shield even left over. GG's of our opponent. Game 3. So we have a Machamp against an Alola Marowak. Again, another bad lead. We were having a good time with the fighter in the lead the last video. This time, not so much. But we have a rock slide move, right? So rock typing against a fire typing is going to be super effective. This is why Machamp has some good matchups against what might be a really bad matchup normally. So our counters are doing nothing because a ghost is going to be able to resist the fighting type counters. So we throw a rock slide, they got to take a shield, or I take a big chunk of damage out of them. So I want to try to get to another rock slide. I feel like I can outpace them. I feel like maybe they're going to build up to a Shadow Ball. They switch. I tried to do a switch. The game didn't let me, so I improvised. I threw a cross chop. I figure normal or neutral damage, right? Because it's super effective against the steel type, resisted against the psychic typing. I can just hurt this thing a little bit. It did more damage than I was anticipating. So I was like, oh great, I'll just switch on over. They throw a Doom Desire, which would normally KO. But we're going to use a shield. We're going to farm down. We're going to try to build up some energy here. Hopefully the next thing that comes in, I can just charm down and throw a charge move to steal the other shield. So they end up taking their time to burn the switch clock, so that way whatever they bring in, maybe it doesn't get hard countered by whatever takes out my Gardevoir. So as you can see, charm builds up. Wasn't able to get to a charge move, but that's okay. They throw a bone or a shadow ball instead of the bone club, so they have almost no energy. So I'm going, hey, if I bring in the muck, they can throw a bone club, and it's going to be super effective, but it won't KO. If I'm able to get to an acid spray or a dark pulse, then maybe we have some play here. If I acid spray, then maybe I can farm down with the Machamp. If I dark pulse, then maybe I just knock it out. So I get the switch up, and I catch the move here. So Bone Club's going to knock me out. Maybe I'll throw an acid spray. Maybe I'll try to just throw the dark pulse. Knowing that they have a shield and a Pokemon on the back, this isn't looking too good for me. So I decided to throw an acid spray. Just maybe knock this thing out, have some energy left over. Maybe I'll go up to a dark pulse and I'll kill something. They shield. So alright, I have a chance. I have a chance. We get desynced. They have the move anyways. GG's. We take our first loss. I'm not always going to go 5-0, and that's okay. Sometimes I go 1-4. Sometimes I go 2-3. Sometimes I go 3-2. So right now, we're 2-1. Hopefully we can go 4-1. So another bad lead. We're losing the leads all day today. We won a lot of leads the last video, so we're going to balance out, right? We win some, we lose some. It's about 50-50. That's okay. So since we did this before, we're going to do it again. We're going to rock slide. They shouldn't shield. If they do, I'd be very surprised. So we throw a rock slide. We're going to chunk this thing down, and we're going to go back over to the muck to try to farm it down. They throw an ice beam. I know I can tank an ice beam, but I don't know what else that they have in the back. So because of that, I want to try to preserve this muck. I'm hoping that they have maybe like a grass type. I'm hoping that maybe they have something where I can just acid spray and weaken a Pokemon. So I'm able to go all the way down and farm it to an acid spray worth of energy. So they bring in a dragon. This is really bad for my Machamp. This is really bad for my muck. If this was Thunder Punch, it'd be doing a small chunk of neutral damage. But it's an acid spray. So I can acid spray, maybe I can dark pulse, and then that way my Gardevoir can farm this thing down. They're trying to get to more than a sky attack. So I figure they're gonna shield. If they don't, great. If they do, perfect. Alright, so they shield. Alright, so this muck is gonna go down. So it means that I'm not gonna shield. I'm gonna bring in my Gardevoir, and then I'm gonna farm this thing all the way down. 2 charms, 3 charms. How many charms is it gonna take? 1, 2, 3. Look at how much damage that stacks up, especially because I acid sprayed it. So I'm going to get out quickly. I'm not going to let this thing farm down. I'm going to try to go to 2 cross chops. We got a shield. And because I switch out quickly, depending on how this matchup goes, maybe I can do a sack swap. Alright, so you always got to pay attention to the timer there on the bottom right. So I throw a cross chop. This is also burning that timer down. When they throw a move, it throws energy and it burns the timer. So we throw this and we farm it down. Our opponent gives up. They rage quit. Now we're 3-1. Things are looking good. Maybe we're gonna go 4-1. So we finally get a lead. We get a fighting type against a dark type, and my fighting type is boosted damage. So I'm gonna get out of this situation really quick. Again, Skarmory gives our team a really hard time. If this was Thunder Punch, it wouldn't be as bad of a time, but we're gonna have to make do with what we got. So I'm gonna have to Acid Spray this thing. I don't want to use all of the shields here on my Muck. I'm going to just throw an Acid Spray, and if they farm me down, it's going to be very unfortunate. But maybe I have some play here, right? Maybe I can set up a sack swap with this Gardevoir. Maybe I can just burn the shields and just farm this thing down with the Machamp, because now that I do an Acid Spray, they are weakened. So this resisted damage is kind of closer to the super effective damage range. We have a little bit of energy on the Machamp here. We CMP tie. I'm going to throw up a shield here. They're already in the yellow. Maybe I can throw a charge move here, take a shield, and then I can try to farm this thing down. We are already at somewhat of a shield advantage because I had to throw a shield here. Now they have to throw a shield here. And then maybe I'll have positive here with the shield and energy advantage. So you see huge chunks of damage here. I'm going to have to shield and farm this thing down. It's not what I want, but again, maybe I have some play here because as you can see, my switch clock right there is ready to go. They have 2 Mons now, and I have a bunch of energy on another. So they bring in the Mud Boy. Mud Boys generally lose 2 fighters. So I'm going to just throw this energy, try to throw 2 Cross Chops, and then try to switch over to a Gardevoir to try to finish this thing off. I really hope that they throw energy here. I throw a Cross Chop. Please, opponent, throw a Mud Bomb so that way I can just farm you down. And we get the Excellent. We've been getting a lot of Excellence. It was really good. So I throw this over and charm it down. Oh, this is beautiful. They didn't throw any energy, but I was able to take all that energy away. And we have a bit of a redundancy here. So my Machamp and my Gardevoir are able to take down an Umbreon. So they throw this move here. It's resisted because of the Fairy typing, but it's super effective against the Psychic typing, so it ends up being a neutral foul play. That's a really hard-hitting move for us. Gardevoir is already pretty glassy, but we were able to take this thing down even though the shadows take more damage, but they dish out more damage. So it's super effective, it's stab, and we get a win there. Thank you everyone for watching. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Here's my schedule for the week. Hope you guys follow me on Twitter. Hope you guys watch me on Twitch. Until next time, be kind to each other.